Hey there, how you doing? Welcome to this podcast, videocast. So on the screen, if you're watching this on YouTube or on a website, etc., you'll see a quote from Laura. So the reason why I brought this up is we're getting a lot of people coming to us and ask for a bit more information, but in the realms of being confidential. I don't want to share the full details right here because I know you should be inundated with the hows, etc., etc. But rest assured, this is a real person, been inside the inner circle now for, as you see, 4 years. So I'll read the quote for you, those of you you can't see this. So I came across Andy 4 years ago and we hit it off right away. One stipulation to Andy was my lifestyle. Keep my work week at 20 hours. Well, I still do that. However, my first year, I doubled the bottom line. I'm fully retained. My fees are a lot bigger than when I started. It's down to Andy's authority strategies. What I recommend it, yes, without a shadow of a doubt. It's a step-by-step process, and the best thing I did with my business, even with COVID-19 this year, I'm on course to nearly double my revenue again. Currently it's 90% is the current outcome we have. I love my business. Sometimes I just pinch myself. This is meant to really feel like this. So this was just before, about beginning of November last year. And we're now on, the 1st of Feb. So Laura works 20 hours per week, and she is a member of the inner circle and has been, as you can see, for 4 years. And what's happened with Laura came to me and went through the standard process. So she saw something somewhere online. A 15-minute call was had where it was to give value to Laura, also to ensure that they were a match. Then we jumped on a call, went through a strategy session around her business. And Laura was very direct at the start. She was very adamant that the outcome was right. I want to be working 20 hours per week. And that still pertains today. And year on year, it's been a case of double. And we've got a very, very good business now. Indeed. Probably the highest fees in the niche, fully retained. We have a business which is a lot of zeros, put it that way. And Laura's still got the lifestyle. So I'm just going to try and keep this short. As you guys know, on these calls, I can talk for hours and hours. I'm so passionate about this. I'm trying to keep it short to maybe 3 salient points. So how's Laura achieved this? Number one, she was very clear about what her outcome was. So when someone comes to us normally, someone will come and say, Andy, I've followed you for 7 years, or it might have been just come across you, and I want this. And usually it's a financial figure. So I want to go from doing 200K to 500K. I want to go from doing 100K to 750. I want to go whatever it might be. You know, on the flip side, think about a profit-focused business with a larger business. You know, we're doing 12, 13 million. But we actually want to make profit as opposed to just revenue. So there's an outcome. The outcome is usually, probably 99% of the time, a monetary outcome, which it should be. That's the scorecard for your business, number one. But virtually every business that then hits their financial outcome, the next direction is, I want to change the model. And the model really means the hours you work and how you work. We've been doing the laptop recruiter and working remotely now for a decade. For lots of people, it's now being enforced on them. So usually it's the model and it's the financials. With Laura, it was the other way around. It was the model first, and then the financials followed. So why is that important? Well, it's important because if you think about what's happened here. So Laura's been working 20 hours per week and has a business that's very, very successful with many zeros. How she achieved that? Well, she's achieved that step by step. And what I mean by that is a case of I know my outcome, these are my 20 hours, and the financial outcome is going to occur from those 20 hours. So if you're thinking as I am, which is always business strategy and implementation, she's going to stay with me year on year if her business keeps growing year on year. So what do we need to make sure happens? Well, her financials grow year on year. And to do that, that means that what she did in year one, she won't be doing in year two. What she did in year two, she won't be doing in year three, because it's like a building block. Building block one, where's the camera? Takes place, then we add building block 2 to it, then building block 3, but 1 and 2 continue happening. So 1 happens, we get it systemized and automated, then we start on 2, but number 1 keeps happening. So that might be, in Laura's case, a VA runs it or a team member runs it. Then by the time we've got to building block number 4, 1, 2 and 3 are happening in the background in an automated fashion. So we build on these building blocks. So taking the view as Laura did that, right, I want to do this at 20 hours per week, is actually a very demonstrates a trait which most of us in recruitment do not have, which is patience. But ironically, it's resulted in doubling year on year pretty much, even in COVID, as you can see. So the lesson here really is about know your outcome. Now, because where we are right now in the world, and I don't know your specific situation where you are, as recruitment people, we tend to want everything yesterday. And what that means is we have a rash approach to business, which is we do something for a week or two, then we might change direction. Whereas you probably know yourself, I don't need to tell you this, the tortoise always wins the race. However, if I've got someone who's a tortoise or someone who's a hare, the ideal is someone in the middle. We don't want the overthinker, we don't want the bull in the china shop, we want someone in the middle. So if you think about your business right now, where you are right now, we've got this propensity right now to be in continual survival mode. We wake up and our adrenaline is flowing, our cortisone is off the charts. We're bam, 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 bam every day. We're on this treadmill, which means we make decisions in our business which are short-term decisions based on emotion, not based on strategy. But I get it's human nature, so we need to find that balance. So what I would say is take the time out to step back from your business now and again and think about, right, what's my outcome for 2021? So if you think about, for example, right now, if you think about something like cryptocurrency, if you're into that or you may not be. I originally come from an investment banking background, so if you think about the traders in the market, we just had this thing happen with Robinhood in the States. So lots of traders will want an immediate short-term win, so they want it, maybe within 3 days, 5, 6, 7 days. They've got this short view, so they've got this short-term view of success, and some people can pull it off, but very, very few. Then you've got the person who says, right, if I invest in this asset, for example, it might be, Bitcoin, for example, which by all accounts, with all the institutions invest in, it's pretty much a certainty it's going to grow this year. And by the way, it's an investment advice, but it's going to grow this year. So at the end of the year, by taking that investment, at the end of the year, it's pretty certain you're going to have some form of outcome, which is going to be a growth outcome. So in terms of your business, taking that step back and saying, right, what do I really want here? I want predictability, I want security. Right, how am I going to do that? I've got 4 hours a day to do that right now because of lockdown. If you've got more, fabulous. 4 hours a day, how do I do that? What Laura did, and what Laura continues to do, is, she's a joy to be around, she's ultra positive. But what Laura does is she'll take one strategy and she'll get it working. She'll take one strategy and get it working, and come back and she'll ask questions on, Andy, right, bam, bam, bam. How do I do this? How do I do that? Right, these are my metrics. Right, next 3 weeks, let's test this. So over 3 weeks, we'll work on the metrics, take it from 20% to 40% to 60%. Right, if that is linear, every time we run that strategy, we get 60%. Will that give you enough X? Yes, that will give me enough X to reach X in 6 months. Okay, let's do this. So she works on one thing at a time and becomes very good at it. So the lesson is this: you've only got 4 hours a day. So rather than try and start a dozen things like video marketing, blog writing, whatever stuff you're going to see out there, focus on one thing and do it very well. Just make sure the one thing you do is the right thing, clearly, as much as you can. So in this case, normally someone will come and say, I want to earn X amount, and then the model comes later. But the two always fit together. You can't, if someone comes and they, I've seen it happen, when someone comes to us and they get to $1 million, first time they've done it, then what they do is they go into a new niche. And virtually every time I'll say no. So they've got the existing niche and they go into a new niche, and I'll say no for various reasons I'm not going to go into right now. And often what will happen is the original niche will go backwards from $1 million, and the new niche is tougher to take off than they thought it would be. When in fact that $1 million niche would likely probably become 2 or 3 in that next year. So as entrepreneurs, we're always looking for the next thing, the next shiny thing, and we almost self-sabotage. So if it seems too easy, it's not always true that it's too easy. As Laura says here, this is the actual thing she said, the actual words, but I sometimes need to pinch myself. Is it meant to feel like this? Like she feels like she's missing something. But you know yourself probably 7, 8 plus figure entrepreneurs, and it's a case of breaking your next level. So you're always going to feel that. So the lesson is get good at one thing, make sure it's the right thing, and know this: the model always has to match the finances. So to start with, when someone comes to us, I want to achieve X. It's all about the money. But at some point, the model will change because they've reached a certain level. There we go, I'm on the camera now. So they've reached a certain level. And taking this view as Laura did, right, my model comes first, is pretty intriguing. It's pretty intriguing. So know this, it's almost a case of less is more. Less is more. So deep breath, outcome for 2021, what are my numbers behind it? How many clients, how many roles, how many interviews, etc., whatever all your metrics are. Then, how do we achieve it? 80-20 rule. What's the most likely 1 or 2 strategies are going to get me to that outcome? One for clients, one for candidates. There may be a couple where you mix them. For example, webinars are a fantastic way to mix authority and leads. But with that said, I just want to share that with you. So if you would like to jump on a call with me, if you go to recruitmentmarketinginternational.com/meet, recruitmentmarketinginternational.com/meet, love to speak to you, and we can go through your position. So with that said, keep in there, keep pressing on, going to get through this.